Okay, so we're actually going to get started by installing the SMARTA tablet software. As I said in the introduction, for the purposes of this demo, we're going to assume you're just using the default SMARTA software, the one that's on GitHub. In reality, you'd probably want to have it customized for your particular research experiment, like with your animal names, but I would actually suggest you start with the default one. That way you can just make sure everything is working together, and then once everything's working, you can have it customized the way that you want for your research. Okay, so you can see on the tablet here, I have already gone to GitHub, but what we've done in advance is we've updated this tablet to the latest version of Android that it would support, and I would recommend you do that just because there's some bug fixes and whatnot in the newer versions of Android. So if you buy a tablet for your research, the first thing you're going to want to do is update it probably a couple times until it's on the latest version of Android that it has available. Other thing I have, obviously, is this tablet is connected to my Wi-Fi, so I can browse the web and download things like I'm about to do. This particular tablet that we're using is the LG G-Pad 10.1. It actually just happened to be an inexpensive tablet that was available when we started, well, actually when Ray started doing his research with lemurs. It's actually discontinued, but the SMARTA software will work with any Android tablet that you can purchase, as well as any Android smartphone that has Bluetooth, which is pretty much all of them these days. So, I mean, honestly, if you were starting a new research project, I would probably just buy an inexpensive 10-inch or so tablet on eBay. There's no reason not to just use a used one. You're just going to be using it with animals anyway. Okay, so let's go ahead and install the default tablet software on this. And so if you go to GitHub, you can see the address there, but we'll have links to these things available. The pre-built version of it is in builds, and so I'm going to go ahead and go in builds, and I'm going to download. You'll notice actually, first of all, in the builds folder there's two versions. There's one that says SMARTA Phone and one that says SMARTA Tablet. They're actually totally different software for the phone and the tablet, so it's very important that you install the correct one. So we're going to download the tablet software. I'm just going to hit download over here. I don't know if that worked. Let's try it again. There we go. Now it's downloading. Great. Okay, so that downloaded the software. Okay, one thing to know about the SMARTA software is because it's custom, since it's been modified by a programmer, and you're probably going to want to do that for your own project, you don't install this through the Google Play Store like you do normal Android software. Like, there's not one version that everybody could share. You need to have it somewhat customized. So what that means is we need to turn our tablet into developer mode, which will let you install this kind of custom software. So to do that, the steps will vary slightly for your tablet, but they tend to be pretty similar. What you do is you go to settings on your tablet, and then there's these kind of funny steps to turn on developer mode because they don't want people doing it by mistake. Let's see if we can find it here. I believe it's under About Tablet. Let's see, and it's one of these here. Just a little bit. It may vary by what tablet you get. So if the steps here don't match perfectly, just do a quick Google search for the brand of your tablet and then developer mode, and you'll find these steps. I'm pretty sure it's under software info, but we'll find out. The trick is, one of these things, when you tap it 7 times, that's how it turns on developer mode. So I think it's software version. Let's see if it does it. No, not software version. There it is. Okay, it's build number. So you see down there on the bottom it says you're now a developer as I was tapping that. It's kind of just a secret way for developers to unlock their tablet, so to speak, so that they can install custom software, which is what we're going to be doing. So now that I've done that and that little thing popped up and said developer mode enabled, you'll notice I have a new settings area called developer options. You need to go in there, and turning on developer options, it's just warning you about something. Don't worry about that stuff. Don't use your regular tablet for this. This is just for your research, so there's nothing to worry about. What we want to turn on is, let's see, where's the option I'm looking for? It might be under security. These things can be in different sections on different sorts of tablets. Okay, yeah, this is what we're looking for. So this unknown sources option, we need to allow installation of apps from unknown sources, in this case from the GitHub page that we just downloaded. So we're going to turn that on. It's just going to warn you, it's not safe to install unknown things, but in this case we know what we're installing. So now that that's on, we should be able to install our SMARTA tablet app. So if we go to our downloads, you can see the APK was downloaded there. Again, this will differ depending on the brand of tablet you have, exactly what this looks like, but once you have the APK, you should get something like this. Do you want to install this application? Now, if you didn't do those steps that I showed you a moment ago where you turned on developer mode and you didn't turn on the allow unknown sources, at this step you would probably get a screen saying you can't install the software because your tablet won't allow you to install this custom stuff. If you've done everything right up to this point, you'll get something like this that's asking you to install SMARTA, SMARTA screen in this case. So we're going to just say install. And it's just it might ask you a couple permissions things along the way. You can just go ahead and accept those. And it could take just a little bit. Okay, so it's installed, and I'm going to just go to the home screen to show you what the icon looks like. It's actually under apps here, and you can see there's the new app we've installed called SMARTA Screen. I'm just going to pull that onto my desktop if I can, so that it's just a little bit easier for me to start the thing, and I would recommend you do that as well. You should have this nice little lemur icon to tell you that you have the right software installed. So when you run the tablet app, it will, well, first of all, it will rotate the screen. Oop, getting a few errors here. Let's just see, what does it say? Application wants to turn on Bluetooth. Yeah, I'm going to rotate this so you can see what it's saying. I'll explain what's going on here in a moment. But if it asks you to turn on Bluetooth, you absolutely want to say yes, because that's how the remote control is going to connect later. So I'm just going to say allow, and that might be why it crashed just a second ago. Okay, so give that 1 second for Bluetooth to start, and then we're going to give it another try. Okay, yeah, that worked. So here's what is up with the why it turned everything upside down. Your tablet almost certainly has the camera on the top, so I'm going to turn it back the way that this is like the natural way that the tablet goes. The camera is normally on the top. The SMARTA tablet app will automatically record video while you're doing your testing sessions. And you can imagine if we mounted this, inside the SMARTA acrylic enclosure, that the camera would be too high if we left it like this. So actually the app is intentionally in this orientation so that the camera's on the bottom, and when you mount it in the acrylic enclosure, the camera is kind of like in the center and is more likely to pick up, the face of the animals or, whatever is in front of the SMARTA apparatus. So it's okay if it's upside down. It's meant to be upside down, and if you watch the rest of the videos about mounting it in the acrylic enclosure, you'll see how that makes sense later. Okay, so you'll notice it goes full screen, kind of like an Android game might do, and it's just telling you that if you want to exit, swipe from the edge to get the controls back. But for our purposes, if you get to this black screen that says waiting for connection, that means that you have successfully installed the tablet software, and the SMARTA tablet is now waiting for the remote control, which will be on this phone, to connect and start telling it what to do. So for now, the tablet is good to go.